The next hook that we'll look at is the useEffect hook. This allows you to deal with side effects when your component re-renders. So after the component is re-rendered, whatever you specify in the useEffect will be executed. There are ways of controlling when the useEffect will be executed. Whatever code you include in the useEffect will be executed. And that we will see how to make use of it within our application. Going back to our to-do application, I'm going to make use of the useEffect in order to capture and then log to the console anytime the to-dos is modified because of in dispatch of any of these actions from the useTodos custom hook. We will also see how we will make use of the useRef hook in this section here. So let me go ahead and import the useEffect hook and the useRef hook here. And also what we will do is within our useTodos, we will capture a reference to the action and also old state reference here. You'll see how we will make use of this in a short while. Now, after doing this, I'm going to define a function here called myDispatch, which is going to be a modified function which will receive the action as the parameter. And what we will do is we will capture this action value in the action ref and also capture the current values of to-dos in the old state ref here, and then after that we will dispatch the action. Now you will see why I make use of it like this here. And so what happens is every time this myDispatch is called, it will save a reference to the action that was initiated and also a reference to the current state, and then it dispatches the action. The dispatch of the action will cause the state to change, so will cause the to-dos to be updated. And so after the dispatch action is completed, you will see an updated to-dos being available here. Now, we will use this as a way of being able to log the previous state and the next state and the action that caused the change of the state to our console. So we will define that in the useEffect here. Now, in the add to do, the toggle to do, instead of dispatching directly, we will use our own function that we have defined here to dispatch the function here. So we will replace these with myDispatch here. And then after that, we will define the useEffect function here. And inside this useEffect, we're going to define the appropriate function to be executed. And this function we will execute only in situations where the to-dos has changed. So this sort of defines the dependencies, meaning that only when to-dos changes, the useEffect will be executed here. So what do we do in this useEffect? So we will say we will get the action from the action ref, and then we'll say if action, then we will log some information to the console here. So we'll say console group to-dos. This allows you to group a bunch of console logs together in the screen. So we'll see how this works. Then we will log the previous state which is captured in the old state reference earlier. We'll also log the action that caused the change. So we will log the action and also the next state that results after this action is launched, which is captured in the to-dos itself. I'm going to use the single quote for this instead of the double quote. And the next state. So this way, whenever the to-dos changes, we're going to log to the console the previous state, the action that caused a change of state, and then the resulting next state into our to-do. So this is an easy way of capturing the changes to the state and be able to track the changes to the state in the console. So with these changes, let me go ahead and save the todos.js file, and then let's go ahead and take a look at our application in the browser. Going to our application in the browser, let me just add the first item. So when I add the first item to my to-dos, note what has been printed into the console down below here. It says to-dos, previous state. The previous state was an empty array, and then the corresponding action that was initiated. This was an add to-do action, and the corresponding payload, which is what I typed into the form here, and the next resulting state where you see that this to-dos item has been added into the to-dos state here. So this is one. Let's add one more, and you see that this is also logged to the console here. So the previous state was that, and the next state, you see that there are two items in the to-do list and the corresponding action that resulted in the change. Let me add one more, and you see that this is also logged here. Let me mark that as completed, and you see that in the console, you see the previous state with three items here: false, true, false, and then the action, the toggle that has taken place, and the next state being implemented here. Now, if I go ahead and delete an item, you see that the item has been deleted from the list here. And so this is the corresponding action. And in the next state, you see only two items there. Let me go ahead and mark that as incomplete. And then again, you notice that this is the previous state, the action, and the next state, which is logged to the screen here. So in this example, we have seen how we can make use of the useEffect hook in order to log some information to the console whenever any change happens to the to-do list. Now, also, we saw another use of the useRef hook here. Here, we are not referring to any DOM element. Instead, we are simply saving a reference to an object here, as seen here, and then that object reference is available later on if required, as shown in the way we make use of it in the useEffect here.